All Things Possible TV. We're excited to have you here today, and we have Bill and myself here to do an episode for you. This week's episode is on relieve your stress and improve your health. There are going to be lots of fun little tidbits we're going to give you, as well as tools and techniques on how to relieve your stress.
Absolutely, it's exciting. I'm looking. I can't wait to do some of these techniques.
Yeah, he's got a couple of them that I don't want to do on tape, but we are going to show you some ways that you can improve your health and that you can be in control of the stress that you have in your life and be able to have a better impact on how that's being handled. So,
hey, you know what? There's something important you need to tell them.
Oh, before we go into a lot of details. Really?
It's come out of the closet day today.
Oh,
okay, so
makeup.
So yes, I put some powder on. Don't I look nice? Thank you.
He did some. So, I'm not going to shine, but I'm not sure that it's working down in the lights. So
because I'm a shiny guy, and it was just too much. So people are focusing on my light rather than that. So I put on. I'm wearing makeup today for the first time in my life.
Yeah, he has a tiny bit of a little powder to not have shine.
Yes.
But maybe I'll put him in full makeup soon, and then he'll really know what it's like.
Actually, that is not what we were going to tell them. That just kind of came out.
It's not. That's why I was kind of like, what? So.
Caption guy. Okay, we got him on the stick. He's there.
The caption guy's ready? Okay. We are wanting to invite you to go to our website to give you a gift. Our free 7 traits. And that is 7 things that you can do in your life right now that you can make a part of your life to improve your life, to improve your results. You'll have more abundance, more freedom, and more passion. And of course, apparently, more playfulness, right?
I just need to tell him when he did something good.
Okay, great. So go to our website, www.allthingspossible.biz, and get your free traits. You can just click right now, go, and come back and watch the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
It's always fun to do filming with Bill and caption guy. Apparently, we have extra people on our payroll now.
It works cheap.
Okay, so let's jump in and get to this episode. Do you ever feel like, I think it's stress? I mean, do you see this zebra? This zebra is like a little freaked out. His stripes are going, doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know why. And do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like...
This is a mama zebra, and she is planning a wedding for her daughter. This is what's going on in this particular picture.
I am planning a wedding, and we only are doing it in a matter of weeks. We're excited for our daughter. She, several episodes, you've probably heard that she went to Nepal last year, all by herself, jumped on a plane, took off, came home engaged. Now, for some moms, that's like their dream. Not. It was just like such a surprise. We didn't know him. We have never met him. Like all these things, right? Could be a lot of stress. Well, he just got here. So we've now met him a couple days ago, and we have a wedding in 3 weeks. So could be really stressful, right? Maybe.
All right. Well, anyway, so lots of things can create stress in our life, and we had an incident that really brought it to our attention the other day. We've known this, but it's like, we need to talk about this with people. We was driving down the freeway. Tell them what happened.
Well, we're driving down the freeway, and now you can go 80 miles an hour on the freeway, and so very fast, and all of a sudden there's this loud boom. And
it's called a bloud. A loud boom is a
loud boom. And it was a trucker that was over by us that blew a main tire.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it sounded like a bomb going off. It was so loud. I jerked and swerved the car a little bit, and you just like that panic mode hit.
Right.
And we both were that way. It was like,
yeah, just that feeling of just like all of a sudden your heart's racing and you're breathing really not sporadically, but you're breathing really heavy, and you're just kind of like, what happened? And that's when we saw the tire come off and stuff. And at that point, we had to make a decision. We had to make a decision to either stay in the stress and where we were, or have a way to get out of it.
Well, more correctly, we had to make a decision to do something proactively to get out of this stressful situation, because there's some stuff, and I'm going to teach you about it in just a minute, in our system that automatically turns that on. It goes on automatically, and it will stay there. And we wanted to diffuse that stress because it's going to stay there. We want to take a conscious action to remove that.
Right.
And so we went through a real simple technique, and it was just a few phrases. We're going to teach it to you later on. And, you know, a couple months later, we was feeling fine. We was back to cruising again. So, and we turned off all that stress mode. Otherwise, that can be something that underneath it affects us for the rest of the day. So,
awesome.
We'll get right into it, right?
Yeah.
So now a little bit of more technical stuff we have. That is, I said all that thing is automatic, but we have part of our peripheral nervous system is the autonomic nervous system. Just think automatic. This is the system that controls your breathing, when your body fights infections, when it digests food, when it turns on adrenaline, your heart rate. All these things that are automatic in our autonomic, say that 3 times fast, nervous system. Okay? The autonomic nervous system is actually divided into 2 parts. You've got your sympathetic and your parasympathetic, and those are kind of funky words. It's like, what does that really mean? But you've all heard of the fight or flight mechanism, right? That's your sympathetic nervous system. That, as cavemen and women...
In fact, we have a whole caveman video.
Yeah,
on
we have another one. We go into that in a lot more detail. Yeah, but we didn't offer you very many techniques, and today it's about offering you, sharing with you some techniques. But as primitive people, we needed to, when we get into a fight or flight situation, if there's a bear or a saber-toothed tiger, with my ancestors it was saber-toothed tigers was our big problem.
Apparently mine was a bear.
You know, when you meet one of these on the trail, it's like, okay, I need to run really fast or I'm not going to survive. So my body does not care whether I'm digesting the pterodactyl that I ate for breakfast or whatever that, well, I just made that up. I have no idea what I had for breakfast, or my ancestors did.
I don't cook pterodactyl.
Right, they're best eaten raw. Anyway, it doesn't matter if it eats or if it digests what you ate for breakfast. If it's fighting off an infection from that nasty thing that you just ate, right now, if you don't survive the next couple of minutes, you're going to die. And you're going to die bad. And so your body needs to get extra blood to your muscles. It needs to pump up that adrenaline. Get your pupils dilated so you can see everything and run fast to outrun the saber-toothed tiger, okay? We don't have a lot of saber-toothed tigers in the world today. And you don't see very many bears.
What we mean by that is there's not, every instance that you have is not a saber-toothed tiger, is not life and death. And when it's not life and death, when we go to that fight or flight and we stay there, that's when we start having problems. There's a lot of detrimental side effects to having yourself always in that mode.
Yes, and it's amazing how much, we don't have these big life-threatening dangers. How often is your life really in danger, but yet this system turns on and it triggers so easily? The other side of the autonomic nervous system is the parasympathetic, or your rest, digest, recovery, rejuvenate.
We're teaching you all kinds of words today.
Yeah. Okay. And we're making some of them up.
So when your body goes into that rest and digest and functioning like it's supposed to, not in the fight or flight, but it's standard functioning motion, that's a healthy state.
Yeah.
And that's a day-to-day thing. And the difference for that, we talked about the wedding. So I could get into really that fight or flight about like the yard's not ready for a garden wedding, this isn't ordered, that's not ordered, and start really getting to that fight or flight when really it's a wedding, it's not life or death.
But yet it triggers. You have these triggers. There's a little guy living, he's not captioned, man, he's over there, but inside your head there's little people. And one of them, his name is an amygdala, okay? And his only job is to call 911. That's all he does. He just sits there. And he's an overactive, he's an eager worker. He's the guy that's on the job all the time and does his job way more than he needs to. He's like a little Boy Scout helping old ladies across the road that didn't want to go there. That's your amygdala, okay? Think of Boy Scout. Okay. And what he does, he calls up 911, everybody to battle stations, and he turns that on when stupid things happen. And you just have to know this is what's going on inside of our inside of our bodies. And when that does, then all this rest, recovery, fight infections, digest food, rejuvenate, all of these things do not happen when the 911 call goes out. And the problem is, something like this blown tire on the freeway, it can stay active for hours. So you just don't feel quite right. Yeah, you have those few moments of panic and you let it go and you start talking about something else. But this system, all that call has gone out for everybody to be at their battle stations, all the parts of your body, everything it's going to take to outrun a tiger. And, you know, the body, no wonder we have poor health. And really stress is the underlying reason. And there's different things that cause stress. But they cause stress. When we're under stress, our body does not maintain itself properly. Some really smart people, scientists did an experiment. Yeah,
really smart people.
Really, white coat guys, okay? They did an experiment with mice where they took mice, they was living on this little grid with, you know, their cheese and whatever else mice eat. And they didn't have anything special in there except for in the floor they could induce a small electrical charge, just enough that the mice would notice it and put them into stress. Now, there was nothing that was life-threatening, and as long as they only put that charge there every so often, not too often, the mice would go into, and it'd put them right into stress, so it would turn on their fight or flight mechanism, and then they would go ahead and recover and it would be fine. But they found when they turned it up past a certain point, and they would not turn up the intensity of the electrical shock, but the frequency, when they would turn up the frequency and have it happen more often, the mice all at once would stay in stress. Their bodies never got to recover, and they would die within a few short weeks of old age because they were always in this stress mode. Did you feel like a mouse? You know?
Well, and it wears down all your systems. And when your body should be digesting and taking care of your body, breaking down the food and stuff, instead it's storing. So then we get extra fat and we get extra obesity and different things like that make it really difficult for us to get our body back into health and back into alignment and be on that regular cycle of having our body not be in that sympathetic all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely, not be in that fight or flight. So there are two types of stress, two things that can cause stress in your life. The first one that we want to talk about a little bit is long-term stress. These can be things like abuse and addiction.
Yeah, there's imbalances. A lot of self-esteem issues that you grew up with and belief systems as well as your self-worth. A lot of times we go into overwhelm and frustration and we feel like we're not enough and not really measuring up to what needs to happen. And those can all be some of the things. I work with a lot of clients that have faulty belief systems about themselves as well as that they don't have the self-esteem or the passion to be doing what they're doing, and we have phenomenal success. You, in turn, work with a lot of clients.
As an energy healer, that's the first thing I do is I look for the imbalances. Is it trapped emotions? Is it some experience in their life? Is it some energies that are affecting them and causing them? I mean, I look for it. I call it an underlying reason, but I could really ask, what's causing stress? Is it a trapped emotion? These are long-term things where Kris and I, when we work together as a dynamic duo, could really help people move forward in their life and get rid of that stress and organize, get things to work better.
Right, so, get your organization, your time management, as well as your belief system and your emotional health all in alignment and pulled together so that you have the most success as possible in your life and get out of that constant stress and overwhelm and frustration.
So that's the first type of stress, is your long-term things, things that you may not be aware of consciously, and just life management skills and type things.
Exactly.
Okay. And for that, you need to come see us. We'd love to work with you. And at the end of this, we are going to offer you a free strategy session to talk to us about those type of things. But the other stress is what I want to share with you today, especially, is situational stress. This is things that you can do for yourself. But here are things where it used to be a bear or a saber-toothed tiger. Today it might be a blowout that scares you. We wasn't in any real danger as soon as the moment was gone. But there are so many things that can trigger this little amygdala dude to call 911.
It can be your computer going down. It can be breaking your cell phone. It's not a saber-toothed tiger, but it could be something to you is a big deal, but it's really not life-threatening. It just is very stressful and very like an attack.
It can be your phone, getting your phone bill in the mail.
It can be going
Anything
through a divorce.
that upsets you.
It can be having a child that's sick or being told you have an illness. Any of those things can set this off.
Any little thing, somebody in the grocery or somebody in traffic, that just cuts in a little bit close and it upsets you. Here's your little hyperactive guy. He pulls the fire alarm, over nothing. And all at once your body goes into opening up your adrenaline and your blood vessels and all this stuff. We could quit digestion, recovery, and rest. And it stays that way for hours. And so we break, especially in today's world, there's so many things that can cause stress. They're not, most of them, life-threatening injuries.
Right. Well, and it can be a
situations.
car accident that wasn't necessarily injury involved. Just being in a car accident with a small injury where it wasn't life-threatening, and we still go into that stress mode.
Yeah.
It can also be disagreements at home. It can be you have your opinion, I have my opinion, and that constant, conflict. I'm like, not coming off the word conflict.
I'll make one up. It's okay.
That's creating a difficulty, which raises our stress level. Then we take that to work, and we take that with us wherever we're going. We take it out on the kids. Whatever's happening that way can put us in that situational stress. Situational stress can be, I don't know what content we're going to give next week in the TV channel.
Right.
That can be something that can be very stressful, and if we don't get control of it and learn some techniques on how to take that out and release that, then we constantly put our body into that mode that it is actually breaking down and not doing the things that it needs to do.
I actually just figured something out.
Really?
Yes, I did, while you was talking about that. That actually, I called it a little guy. This is actually a girl. Her name is Amy Amygdala, okay? And it's Amy that pulls the fire alarm. So just think, what's going to cause Amy to go hyperactive and pull the fire alarm?
Of course you have a girl in your head.
It's Amy.
I thought for a while the girl in your head was Kris, but
No, this is the cycle. Okay. Her name is Amy DeGala.
okay, amygdala.
Yeah, Amy DeGala. Okay. Just make that up. I like it. Amy. Okay.
Yeah, of course you would like it.
Random.
Yes.
All right, hey,
We have
let's do
lots of
something.
fun.
Let's do something important and teach you some techniques. The first technique is called Name That Feeling, and this is exactly what we did when the blowout, because we both Name That Feeling looks like this. Actually, go ahead and tell them kind of the phrases and the stuff we went through.
Well, in Name That Feeling, we went through and just said exactly what we were feeling at the time. Was it fear? Was it a loud noise? Did we think there was an explosion? And we talked ourselves through what we were feeling and what it looked like. Like we just heard this big bang. Of course, you're expecting for, like what blew up? Is the truck going to come over here? All these things started to come at us. So when we went into that Name the Feeling, we started to name the things that we were feeling. Was it fear? Was it panic? Was it...
And we mostly brought down to, we best sum this up as panic. And that wasn't a long conversation. And so we said, hey, you know what? That was just panic. It was just a tire blowing out on a truck. Everybody's okay. I'm not going to die. My life is not in danger. It's okay. It was just a moment of panic. So what I was doing, I was really like, Amy, hey, chill your beans. Push the lever back up. There's no fire. Okay? Really, you're telling Amy, turn it off. Turn it off. You overreacted there. It's good. Glad you're on the job. Glad you was ready to go. But it's okay. Call the firemen and tell them to turn the truck around and go back home. They don't need to come with their hoses.
Well, and also it was, the truck is safe. The truck is off the road. We are safe. Everything's okay.
But when you in all seriousness, when you speak that out loud, when you say, this is just panic. I'm not in danger. Nobody's going to die. It's just like, oh, calm down. And it helps. Otherwise, if you don't do something like this can stay active for hours. It's fight or flight response. And then we wonder why our health breaks down, okay? So that was Name That Feeling.
That's the first one, Name That Feeling.
Next one is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Now we've got another video on that too, where it's a great tool for self-healing. But if you're in a real stressful situation, you can say, even though I'm feeling this stress about my daughter's wedding that's coming up, I do completely love myself. This stress, this wedding.
It's not working because he's not stressed about this.
No, I'm not. I'm just pretending. I let her handle this.
I'm more the one that's handling that right now.
But EFT is a great way to
EFT is a great way. It's also known as tapping, in case you aren't sure what the emotional freedom technique is.
Yes.
But that's a very good one to get back into, like, okay, so even though I have this wedding coming up, I deeply and completely love myself. And be able to handle the other things you have to handle. You're going to have things like weddings, funerals, sickness with kids or yourself.
Job stress.
A flood in your house. Like, you're going to have these things happen. You have to know how to go through a few techniques, settle yourself down, get control to where you're in charge, and stress is not controlling you. You are controlling the stress.
Yes, and if you will use these few simple techniques that we're talking about, you won't need to come and see us as often. Not that we don't love you.
We love seeing you, but
yes, but
you'll
you
do
can
better
have so
if
much
you
of
learn it
yourself.
on your own.
Absolutely. The next one is forgiveness, and we can talk about long-term and very deep forgiveness when I'm working with people with abuse or just other situations in life. But the what I'm referring to here is forgiveness in the moment for that person in front of you that has a coupon book this thick and is going to use every one of them to buy their 10 items
And
of
writes
grocery.
a check.
And writes a check and doesn't have ID. Okay. You go through all that, you get in the moment. That can trigger this fight. That causes Amy to pull the fire alarm, okay? And that can trigger this. And if you just in the moment, when you feel yourself to say, you know what? I forgive this. I completely release it and let it go now. Then you never ramp it up. And actually, Amy might sleep right through that one if you'll forgive soon enough. So.
Well, and if you do this on a regular basis, you get to where daily you actually forgive on, I want to say on impact, but so it is that person that jumps in front of you in line, or
It
that
becomes a
car
natural reaction.
that you're at a four-way stop and they were the last one there and they're the first one to go. It gives you that opportunity that once you start practicing this on a daily basis, you continually stay in that forgiveness process and just like, you know what, you must be in a really big hurry. I forgive you.
I
let
saw
you
it
go.
yesterday. It's like, you know what? His medication just started working and he needs to get to the bathroom fast, so I'm glad he went rather than wait. Whatever that
I'm so
is.
glad you shared that one.
Yes.
In the little boy's room.
And I left him with the blessing that may you have many unplanned pregnancies in your life.
That's a whole nother story.
Anyway, the
So-
last technique that we're going to share
Oh, this one
is
is so
favorite. Now this is
fun.
where we go into our
This
infomercial.
is the
Because
very best
this is
one.
cool. I'm so excited to share this. And for just 3 easy payments of $19.95,
You
can a bottle of Stress Be Gone. This is our
The
own
Stress
patented
Be Gone.
formula. It's as simple as pushing a button, and the stress just kind of blows the stress out of
Right?
your
Stress
aura.
Be Gone, right? Told you, it was not my favorite one. It's his favorite.
See, her hair is under stress.
Oh.
See? Okay. No, we're just playing. We would actually sell this for much cheaper than 3.
No, but Stress Be Gone is a simple process, but sometimes you don't want to be filmed when it happens.
Okay, so, no, there's no bottle of air, okay, but it does involve moving air, all right? And it's just simple. So you take your hands, put your palms together in any manner you want. I don't know what this is, but
I don't
you
either.
can interlock your fingers, you can put them in the praying any way you want. Take your palms together. You have small, minor chakras, but they're not small, but they're what they referred to as minor chakras in the palms of your hands. And healers will use these to receive and send energy, okay? When you put your palms together, you really activate. It's a great way to diffuse this energy of stress that you're holding. That's half of it.
And it
Palms
equals it
together, okay? Good, you got the first half done. Now we're going to do the second half. In yoga, they have a technique called the breath of fire, okay? The dragon breath. No, it's not dragon breath. It's the breath of fire. It involves breathing very fast, but you breathe in fully to where your diaphragm moves down, your tummy comes out, and then when you breathe out, the tummy comes in, diaphragm comes up, and so it sounds like this. Are you ready? You do this. This only
think
takes
so.
10 seconds. And you go, okay, we're not going to do a full 10 seconds, but
No,
it
we're
goes.
not.
Oh, I've even got a seconder thing there. All right. And you don't even have to be synchronized when you do it.
Synchronized
Okay?
swimming.
Do that for 10
Synchronized breathing.
seconds. It's like Red Bull in a breath. or Rockstar. It really does. It brings your energy up, but it totally de-stresses. Try that. You should do that 3 times a day. It's amazing how
Every
much
time you go to a
underlying stress.
stoplight, because everybody will wonder what you are doing.
But the key is you need to roll down your window, look at him, and go.
It's funny, but it actually is a really good technique. It can raise your energy immediately, and it can also de-stress. So it's actually, and you've all known like meditation type things where it's like, okay, take some deep breaths and let it out. But hey, why not just pull that trigger and stress be gone?
So there's our techniques. I hope you've had fun with this today, and I hope you've learned a few things. So, because stress really can be a big detriment in our lives. It affects all of us, but it's how we let it impact our lives. It makes the big difference. And so use these tools. Come and see us. We'll help you with the bigger things. But use these simple tools for the day-to-day situational stresses. Don't let them get you down. It's going to be okay.
Well, and learn how to manage your stress, because that's what it's all about, is managing it. Making a decision to learn the techniques, know how to go about it, and how to calm yourself and be able to get through it. Because the stresses aren't going to go away. There's going to be things that come up in your life on a daily basis to stress you out. And if you allow it to win, then you're not going to be healthy, and you will have the big health challenges. Thanks for being with us today.
Wait a minute. I got to give them our message for the day is keep calm and do stress be gone.
Keep calm and do stress be gone.
Yes, okay, we're going to have to make
Apparently
a
that's
meme.
our little chat
We're going to have
today.
to create a meme that says keep calm and do stress be gone. Okay.
So thanks for joining us. If you would like to have a free strategy session with either Bill or I, we're Caption Man's at work again.
You got
Go
it.
to our website, www.allthingspossible.biz, and go to the Contact Us. Leave us an email and let us know that you would like to have a strategy session. We can get you scheduled, and just put in there if you would like an appointment with Bill or myself. So the healing sessions with Bill and the mentoring sessions with me. And we would love to do that with you. So have a great week, and stress be gone.
Stress be gone.
Have a great time.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.